Just lost a big pot with this. He was betting. I jammed on the river. He had made his full house. They always hit on the river against me when I know they don't. When they miss the flop and I know they missed it, and then I'm calling, they always hit the river. Always. The last 7 or 8 times. And it's all on film. I got proof, video proof. Because I mentioned the disdain every single time. So they're like, oh, they called. So I'm probably going to lose, that means. See, there's no mucus in my lungs right now. And I figured it out. It's not even my lungs. It's the pressure around my lungs, outside my body, that they use to constrict my lungs. They're gonna suffer a long time for that. They use satellites. They use a whole bunch of technology to try to make me suffocate, basically, and cough. All you have to do is watch, I think it was the last video before this one, and it shows how my veins were constricted just from going outside. Your veins constrict going outside. And then I took a shower, and then my veins restored in the same video. So I was playing poker, and then about 10 minutes later, I show you my veins. That's what my veins normally look like. So last night they were constricted to make me cold. It was June 30th. And just to make me wear a jacket so they could get metrics for wearing a jacket. Because people give me clothes to set me up. Maybe not. There's the possibility that they don't, but it seems that way. Okay, there's a straight flush draw. What a nice flop. I want to see if that would come on the hand. If I had more chips, I'd call it just to see the straight flush if you had it. Because it's only play money, right? When you're playing with play money, you can make those information calls to learn for poker, right? So if I make a call for 76 or whatever, and I learn something, then it was worth that play money chips. It's worth it. So as long as I have a new tool in my toolbox, I could have a new way to beat people or save money, then it was worth learning that lesson with play money rather than real money. Because you can learn with play money, but just not as easily. Because you need the real money experience, because when there's nothing, only pride is at stake here. You could buy a million chips for like $3. And suspiciously enough, with cash money for the cash tables, I could e-transfer, not a problem. But when I try to buy play money chips, they won't let me e-transfer. I have to. They want a credit card or a Visa debit card, and they know based on the fact that I have to e-transfer for the cash tables that my bank doesn't offer Visa debits. Yet they specifically request a new card, and why would I do that just for play money chips on PokerStars? Request a brand new bank card just for one transaction. I guess it wouldn't be one transaction. I'd probably put $1 million, like buy $3 maybe once every couple months. Because the site's rigged. Because over a year ago, I was playing in a $25 million tournament, and I've never made my way back up to that level again. Never. And it's like benching 250 when you're 18, and then now you're like 23, and you can't bench 170. I'm gonna chase it. I got the nut flush draw, and I don't think he hit the flop. He didn't hit the flop, but I got lucky maybe. I got lucky. I guess it wasn't a 3-outer because I didn't go in pre-flop. I did lose to a 3-outer earlier on today. Every scenario. I can show you here. Let's see how far back it goes. So I won that much with kings. Lost that much with ace jack. Sevens, I won that. Eights, I lost. Well, no, that's not eights. Here are eights, I lost 92K. He hit his 3-outer against me. We made decisions after the flop, but basically he hit his 3-outer. All I have to do is look at my hand history, and it'll show that when I do have a pair versus, if I have a pair of tens versus ace 9, I lose that the majority of the time, almost guaranteed. It would take probably years for them to cover that one up, so I lose that one guaranteed lots. And when I have the ace 9 versus tens, I never might win that once out of 20, 25 times. All you have to do is watch my videos. I made over 100 videos, so it should be statistically correct now. What are the chances of me only getting unlucky every time I film remote? After 4 videos, it would probably be in the billions. After 100 videos, the number would be ridiculously large. Just probability. So, and a trend sometimes on PokerStars is to, like yesterday, I put $20 on and lost my jacks to ace king. I was a 56% favorite. I lost that flip, so I lost $10. I joined a tournament, which I probably would never do again. With 7 minutes left, the late registration, and it's on film. I filmed it. I uploaded the video, but something like 25 minutes. I had one hand online poker in 29 minutes. I had one win in hand. I would have won with 8-5. If I would have jammed with 8-5 pre-flop, I probably would have won. But then, the flip side of the coin is, then once I started playing for real money, or play money, I seem to get luckier. So I'm gonna look for that parallel, like how does my luck fluctuate when I go from real money to play money in PokerStars? And I know it's atrocious, right? Because if I was lucky on real money, then I wouldn't be playing fucking play money at all. I'm coming first out of 8,000 in a tournament like 10, 15 years ago. Then not playing for years. Playing it for the first week, I played real money. After not playing for years, I came first out of 1,500. And I've only put in like 3-4 years of solid effort to practice. So how do you come first out of 1,500 in a tournament that you never didn't play poker. I played one tournament. I played 2 tournaments in person in the meantime. I won one of them. The very first one in Toronto I won. The second one I didn't do too well. Every single cash game I played, I won. I stopped getting invited to cash games. Usually after the first or second time, I'd stop getting invited. Even if I wasn't trying, they just played so poorly. Because it's a cash game, you want to win, right? But you don't want to destroy them. I came first out of 111 in a $10 tournament about 3 weeks ago. Came 5th out of 1,467 in a play money tournament. Came 3rd out of 1,432 in a play money tournament. All within the last 3 weeks. So I'm phenomenal at tournament poker. Phenomenal. Almost, I'd say 20%, I'm lowballing it. But almost 20% of the tournaments I play in, I'm in the top 10 at some point in the tournament. I'll reach the top 10. Usually, I'd say 20%, I probably peak number 1. But just to be conservative, I'll say top 10. And all you have to do is watch my videos to see. I basically just play the cash tables on PokerStars that play tournaments, basically. I'm trying to get enough tournament experience because I can't afford it this year, but the World Series of Poker is in Vegas, right? So I don't think you could, unless all the best players are in the tournament, how could you really call yourself the champ? There's going to be a lot of players that are better than the pros that are going to win the tournament, but they're getting ripped off in the subliminal system, such as myself. So all I ever try to do is be the best non-cheat I could be. The best non-cheat in the world. That's my goal ever. Always. When I played before PokerStars, it used to be against the world, right? So in tournaments, I would just try to be the best Canadian in the tournament. And then if I was the best Canadian in the tournament, then I would try to be the best in the world in the tournament. So I would always try to, that was my psychological motivator, was to be the best Canadian in the tournament. To be the highest ranking Canadian, right? And then if I did that, then I would try to be the highest ranking in the tournament. Because it used to be Americans were the dominant country, but they still have the Las Vegas and the pros, don't get me wrong. So there's still quality poker in the States, but at the grassroots level, they're not as good as say Brazilians, Canadians, the Brits, the Russians, and other ones who still legalize poker. If you don't legalize poker, you can't expect your population to be good at poker. Because they're not playing real money. They're not getting that real money experience. You can learn from play money, but you can learn, say, maybe 80%. You need that 20% real money experience. And then every level of real money you go up, you have to learn how to play that game. If I jump to the $5-10 table, I don't know what the open and bet tolerance is before they fold or call. I don't know the dynamics for that table, so I would have to feel it out. So once I feel that out, then I go to the $200 table. I have the same dilemma. It's like if I bet $600, are they calling with garbage? But if I bet $1,200, now are they folding? So you got to learn how to get, because you don't, when you have a good hand, you're trying to extract as much money out of them as possible, right? So when you have pocket aces, you want to jam all in. You want to jam all in, but you can't because you're going to get folds. They're going to fold and you're going to win nothing, right? At the higher level table. If you jam every single time, don't get me wrong, you can jam sometimes, but if you jam every single time, you're going to get a lot of folds. So it's learning how to extract the most amount. So pre-flop with aces, if you're a new player, you want to raise it enough to get the garbage hands, like 7-8 out of there, Jack 7 out of there. You don't want to be competing against hands that could bust you. So you want strong hands. So you want a stiff bet pre-flop, but not too stiff to reveal that you have a really strong hand. You have to conceal it. So you can't. So what is it here? I out of laziness, I just go pot. But at the casino, I'd be different every single time. Every single time, I bet I'd be betting something different, right? Because I have that creativity too, because I'm the one that controls the chips. Whereas on here, you can't press in an exact dollar figure, right? Because sometimes I would put in $999 to make it seem like it's cheap. I would use psychology. People are afraid of 666, so I would bet 666 sometimes, just to psychologically manipulate people into folding. So did he hit the straight? So I'm trying to get up to 500K because there's a tournament. I want to play a 500K tournament. Yeah, I'm just completely restricted. I showed it in other videos. I won't bother showing it in this one, but anyways, I believe people listen to my thoughts. So I was looking at Kodak Eastman stock in April 26th, and I liked the stock. I liked the information about it. I thought it was underperforming, but that day I thought I would wait maybe a day or two to see what would happen in the market, because I thought it would trend downward, which it did. So I would have bought it a couple days later when it was trending downwards, and then I would have capped it at, I think it was 592 I had in my mind. So basically off $1 million I would have made something like $236,000 profit in 2 months. And once doubled stocks in 16 days. That was my fastest, to double stocks in 16 days. And my very first trade, aces of course. My very first trade, if I would have listened to my instinct, I would have turned 4,000 into 10,000 in a month. My very first trade. This game as a kid said, at first I played it, it was like, you suck, don't quit your day job. But then after about a week, it was like, you should be doing this for a living. And I was 15, and I didn't really see the outlet. I didn't know how to become a stockbroker. If not, I would have became a stockbroker, because I took every business class that they offered in high school. Every single business class. One of the most useful classes I took in high school was keyboarding. It allowed me to learn how to type, and then for every other assignment and classes, instead of me finger typing, now I was just typing away at my 35 words per minute or whatever it was, and so I'd finish assignments super fast. It's probably the most useful, if they still offered in high school, if you're young, take keyboarding, because you want to be able to type. You could type much faster than you could write, so maybe they teach it younger than that. It would be ideal. They should teach it in elementary school, so you could fly by in high school on the computers. because I remember English writing. It was phenomenal. Like everybody that didn't take keyboard, and they spent the whole class writing their assignment. I would be done in 20 minutes, so they'd let me go in the. It was in the January to the June semester, so to speak, right? So I would. I remember being outside lots, anyways, in that class. I remember being allowed to go outside and sit in the sun when everybody else was doing work in class, because I finished my work. I remember at least doing that 3 or 4 times. And another solid strategy, if you're somebody in school, is I used to classes that I was interested in, I'd focus, but then classes I wasn't interested in, I'd daydream, right? So don't daydream when you're not interested in class. It makes time go by so much slower. You're looking at the clock and it's ticking by ever so slow. So what you do is you focus harder. You focus your hardest on the classes that you hate. Like watching paint dry. You concentrate so much and it makes the time go by faster. Next thing you know, the class is over and you're doing your thing at the end of the day. Here's another unlucky situation, most likely. Oh, I got lucky. Nice. Hit a 3-outer. So once I start doing that, I ended up on the honor roll like 3 years in a row. Should have been the valedictorian though, because they were watering down my brain. I did an IQ test when I was 13. In an entire section of the IQ test, I didn't bother doing it. I wasn't interested in it, so I just made a pretty little pattern. I went A, C, D, E, whatever pattern it was. I think it was A to E, and I would go B, C, D, E, E, A, B, C, E. I made a pretty little pattern for 25 questions, and I still scored 127. And they said I was watered down at like some 0.2% of my brain's capacity. Okay, what's this? Another head-to-head collision. 2 overcards, of course. Which one does he have, though? I think he might have had queens there. Or ace king. So it's Canada's Day in Canada, so it's Canada's birthday, so all my electronic violators from Canada died in their sleep or some point today. That would be fantastic. And my kids' violators as well. Other than that, anybody that believes they have private thoughts, I wish they had hope they have a happy Canada Day, and one day they'll be a much better country. They won't secretly violate people and participate in genocide across the world.
And the diamond game. That's alright. Normally I'm the only one that has bad luck at the table. The majority of the bad luck. I take the brunt of it, it seems. That's the luck I have. I make a set and lose to a flush. Maybe I guess there's too much chance in poker, so maybe I'll have to become the best chess player in the world because there's no chance. So that's something that I could be the best at, and but there's no monetary value. Like, because I did develop a Sudoku strategy. It's a game that's been around thousands of years, and I came up with a new strategy for it, and I emailed the World Sudoku Council or whatever, and then suspiciously enough, my Sudoku puzzles, my strategy could no longer beat it 100% of the time. It had virtually 100% success rate, and then now, instead, I could rule it down to each cell to 50-50 probability. Within 15 minutes, I could pretty much get almost every cell to 50-50. But now, they have cells that are 3 choices instead of 50-50. But the world first place is only $10,000, right? So that's nothing. I can't advertise for my petition with $10,000 really. Whereas at poker, you kind of become you can become famous, right? So I could wear my www.change.org/technology t-shirt every time I was on TV. Or casually bring it up when I knew they were filming me. So all you can do is learn from my videos, and maybe you'll have the success that I can't. Because if you see from my bluff rate, I bluff successfully tons. I must have had 100,000 successful bluffs in my life. And I don't ever really, well, sometimes I plan on it, but nice. Now, as I get more seasoned, it's as the situation presents itself. So it's sometimes I just want to be in the pot with somebody because I haven't played a hand with them, so I want to feel them out, especially in tournament poker. But because cash games, they could always leave, right? They could always leave the table. So there's some things you can't do. But in a tournament table, especially if I have lots of chips, I'm gonna try to play pots with everybody. Okay, nice. So let me leave this game before. There we go. So I got the 555K now to play in the tournament. And I play in these tournaments just for experience, tournament experience, more or less. So 63, there's 100 million prize pool. And it's play money, right? So if you win, all you do is play in bigger tournaments to get more experience playing at a higher level. Because Granted, you could buy, there's rich people, you could buy some like a $500 million chips for like $500, right? So there's people that probably play the 25 million tournament with and they just pay for it, right? I would, but it's kind of, it's hard for me right now. I would have to jump through some hoops, so soon enough I will be. I'll just buy 1 million chips at a time and then play my 50,000 chip tournament. Work my way up, because I do. And started with 75,000 chips today, play my new chips, and I worked my way up to 550,000, right? So, and I could do this routinely. It's not a fluke. Without cheating at the cash table, I would dominate. Because they pressured me so much and they cheated me so much that now I'm almost indomitable once there's no cheating. They made me so good. If they didn't cheat me, I wouldn't be as good as I am now. But they made me put so much pressure on, because they tell me that I'm playing against the highest caliber players all the time, even though I'm in a play money tournament. They're telling me this, and I see their psyches jump. I'll see some, but like right now, I just seen Fedor holds. So I just seen his psyche in my mind, right? So can he see my card? So now I'm frozen. I'm frozen now because they're most likely cheating. Now it inhibits my ability to win this hand because they're cheats. But now let's try to thin the herd a bit. Okay, that's kind of, I call that fish, and what I did was I was trying to thin the herd, but also find the big hand. Where's the big hand? Because they want to play for it all, right? I don't want to play for it all right now. It's a solid tip if you're playing, right? If you see a bet and then somebody raises, or if you're the original bettor and then somebody raises you how I did, and then somebody stomps on it and goes all in. So then right there, you should be putting up a red flag, because there was a potential straight last hand. So he could have had ace queen, and you could be drawn dead. He could have had ace queen of diamonds with the royal flush redraw, gut shot redraw, right? So those are the hands that you do run into occasionally. So, and because it happened on the turn, usually people, sometimes I do it myself, when I flop the straight, I might slow play it and then wait till a dangerous card like a king or an ace appears, and then see if people are interested, because people tend to play high cards. So see if somebody was interested, and people were with the king, right? So then at that point he pounced on it. So he almost certainly had the winning hand. He could have had the straight. He could have flopped the straight. He could have turned the straight. He could have had two pair of set, but he almost certainly had the winning hand. And if I didn't have that Fedor Holtz psyche jump, I would have, on the flop, I would have raised my top pair a little stronger to eliminate getting outdrawn. So what you want to do is, when you think you have the best of it, you got to try to get chips in the pot, right? You can't trap, because like, look at, if I did try to trap there, I ended up losing the hand, right? I ended up folding. So I was playing it cautious. I had a feeling it was a losing hand, so I didn't want to risk too much, especially once I seen that psyche. So let's see, 59,
59th out of 74 remaining. 85 entries, 5,743 average stack, and 17.48 million going first.
Yeah, those flyers look nice, Ed.
Yeah, it's funny. All these storylines about me. Well, there's people that have tried to make me go bald, and so far it hasn't worked, thank God. But at the same time, my grandfather had a receding hairline and was partially bald. Somebody I respected immensely. So I never looked down on somebody that they're bald. I might have felt sorry for a guy in his 20s going bald. Because if you go bald in your 20s, that kind of sucks, right? But in your 30s, not so bad. Not as bad. But when you go bald at 28 or 24, like, that sucks. And for women who go bald. But in this system, there's a vengeance system. So baldness is one of the vengeance, right? So it could be people's actions that cause them to go bald as well, right? Or if you become a diabetic or you get amputated. There's system vengeance that people's actions through the subliminal system will punish people and cause them to get diabetes and then lose a leg. And if they're evil, and then if they lose their leg and they still don't learn, eventually they die in the system. So a lot of people you see with ailments when they get older are either victims, like if they're walking poorly and stuff like that, because there's a punishment system. Like that's why you see in Canada you see so many handicap things or recycling litter. They want to kill you, but recycling, they want to punish you and maim you, basically allow you to live but maim you. So they tried initiating bone cancer in me, but my body could fight it off. And the pricks, they went like just below my crotch. Just below my crotch. They wanted to make it so I can never drive. Because my right leg, right? I like to drive. So I want that throttle response from my right foot when I'm driving. Because I could balance it just like cruise control. But I love cruise control. I love adaptive cruise control. It's one of the coolest inventions. I hope I invented it. Let's see how this works out. I thought I was ahead there. I was trying to make it expensive for them to river me. Because if they called, they most likely would have rivered me. And it was unlikely they had the 4, I thought. But you never know. I say unlikely because people do play ace-4, people do play 4-5 suited, and then fishes play 4-9 suited. Like if you're new to poker, suited cards, they look pretty, but if you play them, make it play them like maybe 10-7 suited's all right, because at least it can make a straight as well as a flush potentially. So you can flop a four of a kind, you can flop a full house, you can flop a flush, you can flop a straight with a 10-7 suited. But 10-5 suited, there's no straight possibility, and you only have a 10 high flush. So even if you make that 10 high flush, a certain percentage of the time, you're going to lose. You're going to lose to a higher flush. And usually, especially when you're new, when you make a flush, you usually lose it all. You're so happy that you made a flush because it's a hard hand to make that you usually lose it all. So that being said, when you do have the 10 high flush, don't always go for the juggler. You got to play it out. Sometimes you got the best hand and you want to maximize your profit, but other times you don't. So you got to be apprehensive. Maybe if right now, just say we're on the turn and I have 30k and they have 5k, and I have the 10 high flush, and there's a redraw to a higher flush, I'd probably want to put them all in and sacrifice the 5k. I'm assuming that I'm going to lose the 5k a certain percentage of the time, either getting redrawn with a higher flush or they already have the higher flush, but I have chips to cover them, right? I wouldn't do in the exact same scenario if I had 5k and he has 30k. Sometimes I'm going to lose my chips because it's a flush and it's a good hand, and you're better off drawing the line in the sand with a good hand than ace king chasing it to the river with nothing and then calling all in, right? At least you have a flush. And the beauty about poker is if they raise you, chances are you know you're beat. But people bluff in poker, and people also don't know how strong their hand is based on experience. So now, see, with good players, if I have my 10 high flush and I get a big raise, or a suspicious raise anyways, then I'm going to be apprehensive. I'm going to consider folding 80% of the time. And then it's going to be like our past history, like how many big hands have they shown, first of all? Like, have they shown big hands, like flushes? Are they due for a big hand? Oh, I would have hit, but I would have hit my gut shot, but there was a flush, so I could have lost it all, basically. And then now I would have had the low end of the straight, so I'm kind of glad I'm not in the spot, most likely. I would have won it. So in that scenario where against the pros, I'd probably fold 80% of the time my 10 high flush. If I almost never play 10 high flushes ever, so that this scenario never happens. Like, I think the lowest I usually play is around a jack high flush possibility, unless I have lots of chips. If I have lots of chips, then I'll play any two cards. I'll play any two cards. I just want to be in pots with people. But if I don't have lots of chips, then I tighten the belt, right? You're kind of restricted when you don't have lots of chips. You have to, you can't really open up the playbook as much.
So let's see. So I'm currently 75th out of 93 remaining. I predict they're gonna hit their hands lots on the river and make calls. I'll catch them. I'll suspect that they're bluffing, and I'll call them down, and then they'll river me. That must have happened at least 30 times within the last 20 videos. Anyways, that's a huge ballpark. Probably within the last 5 videos, maybe 7 videos, but certainly within the last 20. That's only 1.5 per video for the last 20. Let's see here. I was hoping for some sort of draw, maybe win a pot. I'm 0 for 30 in these hands, so I'm gonna just call. 0 for 30. Haven't even had a maybe I had a pair, but haven't made a straight in at least the last 30 times. And a hand like this, all you could be confident is if you have a straight or a flush. So if you're new to poker, this is sure, I got a gut shot, but there's a flush, right? So really I only have 3 clean outs. Until I get rivered. Or a chop pot. So I made it straight there, so that was good. But I made 500 chips. Because of the rig hindered my past results, hindered my current playing ability for that particular hand. When they rig me 30 times in a row, why would I play it stronger than when I know I'm going to get disappointed? So since I didn't play it strong, they made me hit the straight. Because if you're new in poker, king queen suited is you're a dog to any, like an underdog to any ace, basically. So it's a strong enough hand, but I forget the exact ratio now. They hacked my brain because I'm great with numbers. I should remember it, but it was something like 200 occurrences on the big game, and king queen underperformed statistically versus ace. Based on the real game showings, it lost more often than it won versus any ace, basically. And I think they went as far as big pots. Because it's one thing if you lose small pots, but it's when you lose big pots. Because when you have king queen suited, you might go all in and get called with ace three, so they only have 3 outs to hit you. So like this guy, if he hits he had ace three, so if you had king queen, you would have lost, right? So play with caution anyways. Here's another garbage hand. It looks pretty, but it's garbage. But it is the second best flush, right? Potential. You'll have to watch this video afterwards and see when I speak to the microphone how it affects players' decisions. Because they potentially could hear that I had a king high flush draw. So I'll wait till after the hand to explain. Boo. So who has the flush draw and who has... There's the flush. That's why I was kind of playing it apprehensive. So the flush had to come through, right? Since I flopped 2 pair. That's why I didn't jam on the flop. It's part of the rig. All I could try to do is discourage them from chasing their flush draw because they were guaranteed gonna hit. I was guaranteed gonna lose. Bad hand. By the river. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Every single time, almost. I flop strong. When I have a strong flop, I get rivered. Doesn't matter if I jam, make it so they have to chase their gut shot. They'll call, they'll hit it. Doesn't matter how I play it, I lose that scenario. The majority of the time. And he chased with a low flush too. So he's a fish, right?
Do they have the 1-4? No snap call so far. But he could have it and slow call it. See, the system's not expecting me to play a hand like that, so I'm likely to win because I circumvented the artificial intelligence. But a hand like this, I'm more likely to play, so I'm more likely to lose. All you have to do is watch the hands I win with, and then watch the big hands I lose with. All my videos. Posted over 100 videos now, so it's more than accurate. Nice hand. I totally didn't think he hit any of that. Didn't see the overpair though. He made a good call. There was a flush, full house, 4 of a kind, right? So that was a strong call. Like, you don't see people raise too often in that situation. It would have been all right if he folded too, though. You got to fold that, say, a certain percentage of the time. Probably 80% of the time, you got to fold in that scenario. When they, especially, I showed interest in the pot on the turn when there was a potential 4 of a kind. So I could have had a full, I could have had a flush already, just waiting to, because I had early position. So waiting, well, not early position, but I didn't have the best position. So I could have been trapping on the flop and the trap didn't go through. So now I'm trying to capitalize on the turn. That's brutal. So I would have won with the flip if he jammed pre-flop, so that would have been nice. At least I won, which could have been a potential flip scenario. So I just had luck with the king-queen last time, so I'm going to fold this time. I guess I gotta start folding more good hands. Gotta start folding more good hands. Jason Mercier. I think he's a has-been now. I'm not sure if he's still a contender. That's the brutal reality about poker is very few players are 20-year players, a 20-year pro. It's hard to be a 20-year pro, like famous pro. There's local pros. You could be a 20-year pro at a local casino, and like if there wasn't cheating right now, I live in a town where there's a casino. My goal would have been to be a local pro and then
spend my winters in Vegas being a pro down there. I would have did that for several years, but since it is rigged, they could see my cards, then there's no point in it. No point. Why would I waste my money flying to Vegas, first of all, to get ripped off? It's a 6-hour flight there and back. So that's 12 hours of my life in an airplane when mortal danger is present, especially with artificial intelligence. I don't know how likely, I'm not going to love going on airplanes. I'm going to love terra firma. So if I do die on an airplane, the whole plane would have to go down, and they're trying to cover up evolution basically at that point. So I should mitigate that. My dad died in a car accident. My brother died in a workplace accident. So that's very suspicious, 2 accidents. So if I died in an accident, or anybody, my son died in an accident particularly, or my daughter, that'd be very suspicious. To the point that it's rigged. So I predict any bounty opportunities I get, I'm gonna get stuffed on the river or the turn. I'll put them in a pretty bad situation, but they'll lose, because what happens is some of these rich sucks lose too much money, then they complain too much, then I lose. And the funny thing is they should have waited, because like I've been ranked professional 4 times on a real money website, so I'm professional quality. I put a guy on a straight flush about 4 weeks ago now, and I called with the ace high flush, and I called specifically just to get sponsorships and endorsements and donations to put him on the king high flush. And I was right. In this video, I'll put somebody on a card, almost guaranteed, if I haven't already. I haven't even been trying. Now I'll start trying to put people on cards. A little fun game I started yesterday was having 2 tables open at once and trying to win both hands as many times as possible. I think I did it 6 or 7 times yesterday. All you have to do is watch one of the previous videos. But that's my new challenge. So 55K. So I'll play 6 max. If you want to get casino experience, you got to play 9 max. But it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? If I only play 6 max, they're not going to know how I play 9-handed. But on the 6-handed table, it's easier to take over the table.
This is at the entry-level cash game, so, no, the guy's getting lucky hands anyways, but he's won all in twice now, so we'll see how active they are. It's 50K, so that's pretty good. Oh, I won, nice. I was hoping to get the double win, but Jack 7 board wasn't looking too good, and I didn't have position. There's 3 people to respond after me, so it wasn't advantageous to try to bluff.
I'm right near Buffalo. Oh, I lost connection on me here. I tried betting as it showed, so I guess I'll turn off 105 so it doesn't disconnect. What did he have? He had Queen 3. So I've yet to get a double win. So did get a double win. And he hit the 6, of course. I don't like the 2 tables at once. So. And I'm saving that 50K for another tournament. Until I get some bounties. So I'm currently 19th out of 126 remaining, 127 remaining, 8,307. So I said 20% of the time I get top 10. So it's unlikely I'll do that now because chap somebody's ass as soon as they see 19. I could feel their psyche being pissed off. Little cowards. Men and women. If they're men, they need to get a sex change so they can get fucked by real men. I haven't been at a tournament where this player's had lots of chips in a while. Usually it's to the left to make it the hardest tournament. But I don't mind because it gives me experience for when I do play in tournaments, because I do like playing tournaments, but I'll play them sparingly. Unless I got sponsors or endorsements, then I'd probably never go on the Pro Tours circuit, basically. I'd pick my spots, play a couple tournaments a year. Because it'd be different if they were bounty tournaments. But I don't like the idea of traveling all the way to a city, spending 4 days of playing flawless poker, and then coming up just short of the money. It's the risk reward in poker, right? You can make so much money. Not really. You can become a millionaire playing poker. You want to become a billionaire, you need to invent an app or start trading on the stock market if you want to be a billionaire. So I don't know why these people cheat for poker when you could cheat at stocks and make money. But there's a metadata trail since I'm saying this, so I'm going to capture them and tax them all and punish them all. But good people, there's some good stocks to get. Okay, so I'm gonna fold because this person might jam, or they're gonna likely to call, and I would have missed. So good fold. I could get runner, but it would have been unlikely I would have called the bet on. I might have called that. Four of kind. I didn't want to chase the bounty, but with the big stack potentially in the pot, he made a significant raise. If you're new to poker, that's a stop sign raise. That's a stop sign raise, especially since they have a lot of chips. They're running lucky, chances are, and but that raise is a stop sign raise. So depending on what you have, would I have called it with the ace queen? Maybe. I probably would have called. I would have tried seeing the flop with ace queen, and then would have pulled the parachute because wouldn't have chased the gut shot. I would have put them on the king, not two kings, but would have put them on the king. Nice call. Nice, I won. It was a pretty scary board with a potential royal flush out there. So I played against Lady Peanut before. This is let's see. I play in the 15K bounty or 15K bounty builder, the 50K bounty tournaments, the 250K bounty tournaments, and this is the 500K bounty tournament. So for play money, this is like the fourth level of tournaments. Then it would go up to 1 million, 2.5, 5 million, 10 million, 25 million on PokerStars. Okay, it's kind of taking forever here. What's up there? So they try to set me up when they take a long time sometimes, because you end up looking like what's taking forever. Then they register you that way. Like any human's gonna impatiently look at the countdown timer. Because they like to sell the baby girl cons. The Ella Gray storylines. Okay, so I have zero hope. Maybe I can check raise. Let's see. I'm not in the sun here, so it's kind of hard to see. 150. So I probably would have had to raise about 2K and probably could have got the fold. Top set.
57K, yeah, so the largest stack is at the table. That's, and I'm nowhere near the top 10 since I chapped that person's ass when I said it when I was 19th. But I'm still in the tournament. Let's see what they're doing. Baby girl's been playing pretty conservative. They did get a 4 of a kind and flopped the 4 of a kind and flopped the straight. Right? So they're running pretty hot. So it's a good strategy to stay away from them. Let's see what they do here. So they did get one bounty, it looks like. So this will be the last hand of the video, then you can watch the next video. The full one. No, the 10 high flush. You don't really see the backdoor flush coming too often. I thought he had a 3 of kind. So I did kind of mention the 10 high flush earlier in the video, so it's suspicious that I lost that way. Anyways, I guess that will be the end of the video. So if you believe you have private thoughts, go to www.change.org/technology. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.